Hey there, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining another live stream, my friends. I hope you guys have all been having a great weekend so far, and of course, having a great start to your work week. And in today's forecast, we are going to be going over a potential rare and maybe even a historic winter storm, depending on how this ends up playing out. But it's definitely not looking like good news for a lot of you guys, as we could be talking about the potential for a lot of snowfall, especially for those areas farther down to the south. So we will need to be watching that very closely over the next few days, which we could be seeing the potential for sleet, snow, and even some freezing rain. And we're going to go ahead and start off by going over that. We're going to go ahead and select the short range models now. We're going to start off by doing the NAM model, and let's go ahead and go kind of take a zoom and view to the deep south, because that is going to be the area that we're going to need to keep an eye on the closest. And yeah, as you guys can see, we will be tracking some pretty big winter storms rolling on through. As you guys can see, the latest from the NAM model is really showing that sleet and freezing rain starting to push on in there to Louisiana by the time we get into Tuesday, which will be right after tomorrow. And then by the time we get into the middle of the week, we start to really see that snow, freezing rain, and of course that sleet really start to ramp up across those areas like Alabama, Florida, back over there into Georgia. So we will need to be watching those areas very closely, as that is likely to roll on through by the time we get into the middle of the week, like I said. And then after that, we really see that freezing rain start to pick up, which I'm actually going to go ahead and select the southeast so that way you guys can see a little bit better. But yeah, you guys can probably tell right there that we really see that freezing rain really start to pick up by Wednesday of this week, which will be the middle of the week, like I said, as that freezing rain is likely going to be along those coastal areas of the Carolinas, back down there in the Georgia, Panhandle of Florida, and as well as into southern parts there of Alabama. And then after that, that freezing rain does continue a little bit longer and could even continue into Thursday morning, but then that should be all out of here by Thursday afternoon, and we should be left with drier conditions down here. So definitely not looking good, guys. We do not typically get freezing rain that far down south, guys. What we would typically get is maybe a little bit of flurries, because we can see that sometimes throughout certain parts of the winter, but that's really all we would typically get that far down south. So we definitely got to keep an eye on it very closely, as once again we could be seeing that potential for a pretty big and rare winter storm. So we will definitely need to keep an eye on that very closely, as we could be seeing some pretty big time winter storms rolling on through. Let's see here. Thanks for joining, Mike. Thanks for joining, Nathan. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Shake and Blake says snowing here in Dayton, Ohio. I know. I just realized that it is snowing in Dayton, Ohio, isn't it? Especially because we got those winter storm warnings and even those winter weather advisories in effect for the I-95 corridor. And even though there are winter storm warnings in effect, it's actually a little bit of a smaller scale winter storm. So it's not bringing anything the way of like significant impacts, but it is definitely bringing still quite a bit of snowfall to the New England area. Which, let's look at the travel impacts. I also haven't looked at that either. This is mainly just going to let you guys know what to expect along the I-95 corridor. And like I said, it's not going to bring like dangerously significant impacts, but there are a few areas like New York City that could maybe get on those moderate impacts. So we will definitely watch it very closely, as it could definitely bring some issues here and there, as anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of snowfall could be possible across some of those areas. So we will definitely be watching it for you, as even parts there of the Ohio, including the Dayton area, could be seeing that potential for some pretty big snowfall with the system. And like I said, the travel impacts don't really look to be crazy, because we aren't really seeing much in the way of major impacts showing up, but there's definitely areas of moderate impacts. So we will definitely watch it very closely for you guys. So make sure you are taking the precautions out there if you must drive. let's see here. I hope so, Mike. I don't make money when it's cold outside. Yeah, I was gonna say that cause let's see. Mike says when this cold gets away, we are going to have February thaw. Yeah, that definitely is gonna be interesting because we've been dealing with this cold air for quite a while, and we are gonna continue to watch this cold air very closely to see if it continues to last into February. So yeah, that's definitely very interesting to say the least. But we will definitely, like I said, continue to watch it very closely as this could still bring some pretty big impacts. And once again, I really do appreciate you guys joining. And yeah, so that's what we are going to be watching for with the small scale one. But back to what we were going over before, like I said, we will be watching that small one. And just to show you guys that one more time, you guys can probably see how that sleet, snow, and even that freezing rain starts to pick up over there in southern Louisiana and southeast Texas by the time we get into Tuesday. And then, like I said, that starts to spread across southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and as well as the panhandle of Florida by the time we get into the middle of the week. And then after that, we still continue to see that big round of freezing rain, sleet, and of course some heavy snowfall does look to be pushing on in right behind it by the time we get into Wednesday. So definitely something to keep an eye on very closely, as we could definitely be seeing that really start to ramp up, like I said. So we will definitely watch it very closely. Let's see here. How far north will the snow be? The snow is going to be potentially impacting those areas like Birmingham, Jackson, Mississippi, back over there into places like Alexandria, Louisiana, and as well as those areas even over there in southern Georgia. They aren't expected to see the worst out of it, but they could still get quite a bit of snowfall overall, so that's why we are going to continue to watch it very closely, as we could be seeing that potential for some pretty big impacts, like I said. And with this winter storm, since not a lot of you guys are used to this winter storm conditions, especially you guys along the Gulf Coast, we could be seeing extreme impacts, which means travel could be difficult to impossible, okay? So we definitely got to watch it very closely, as like I said, not a lot of you guys would typically get that much snowfall in general. Most of you guys down that far down south would only usually get a little bit of flurries, and that's usually most of what you guys would get overall. But like I said, though, with this winter, we are definitely experiencing that snow and also that freezing rain a lot farther down to the south than usual, so it is definitely interesting to say the least. Let's see here. Zion says, what about Columbus, Georgia? So, if you're wondering about Columbus, Georgia, since you're a little farther to the north, it doesn't look like you're going to be experiencing the worst out of it, because it looks like that freezing rain is going to stay more along the Gulf Coast. But I still do think you could be experiencing some sleet, freezing rain, and even some heavy snowfall. You're just not looking to get the worst out of it, as it's mainly going to be focused more along the Gulf Coast. So you are pretty lucky to be a little farther to the north, but you should still be really watching, as we could be seeing more in the way of snow than expected in some areas. So we'll see what happens, my friend. But like I said, it does not look like you're going to get the worst out of it, thankfully. So you are lucky to be a little farther to the north than where the worst of this winter storm is expected to be. Let's see here. Let's see here. Hi, just subscribed. Thank you so much for doing that, Calvin. I really do appreciate it. We are definitely going to try to continue to grow this channel as much as we can. And I don't know if you guys watched this morning video or not, which at the end of it, I did tell you guys that Weather with Sim merchandise is now available. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that, but if you haven't known that already, now is a good time to listen. As like I said, Weather with Sim merchandise is now available, and if you guys would like to check it out, make sure to go to the link down in the description below, and where it says Weather with Sim merchandise, make sure to click on that link, and that will bring you to my store where you can find Weather with Sim hats, Weather with Sim t-shirts, all that stuff. So feel free to go there if you guys would like to find some really cool Weather with Sim merchandise, which I just connected it to my channel earlier today. And I'm thinking about maybe trying to upgrade my merchandise a little bit by choosing something more like Shopify. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that, just in case you guys were curious about buying something like merchandise on my channel. Let's see here. Calvin says, it's crazy to see a heavy snowstorm in Houston, Texas, where I live. It's nuts. I know. It's crazy how we're seeing that shift a little farther down to the south this year. And we can go ahead and zoom into that area a little more. Not the north central, but more the south central. Let's see if we can find that. South central. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because like I said, you're really gonna actually kind of get on more of that snow and sleet. You will likely still be at risk for some freezing rain at times, but it's more going to be that snow and sleet that's going to be your biggest concern. So make sure to stay weather aware, as we could be seeing the potential for some sleet and, like I said, even some snowfall. So we will definitely need to be watching your guys' area very closely, as even those areas, even down there towards San Antonio, Texas, could actually experience quite a bit of sleet and snowfall too as well, which, since those areas are a little bit farther down to the south, that's even more rare, guys. This is just crazy. Like I said, this is rare, if why not historic, by the time we get into the middle of the week, because this is when that winter storm is really going to start to pick up, and that's why we are going to watch it, as we could be seeing way more snow, way more freezing rain, and of course way more sleet than usual, guys. We're talking way more everything more than usual for winter weather, at least. Let's see here. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, stay safe, Calvin. Like I said, definitely not looking great for you guys farther down to the south, and that's one of the main reasons why we were going live for this, is because, you know, it's not really something we would typically get that far down to the south, so we're really trying to spread the word out to everyone, so that way everyone understands that this could be a very crazy winter storm, if why not a historic winter storm, as it gets ready to roll on through. Because like I said, this is just crazy. Crazy. So yeah, that's what we are going to be watching for with that winter storm. Let's kind of do a long-range forecast into February using the GFS model. So we're going to go ahead and select the GFS model, because I kind of want to see what we could be looking at as we get into the future. And the latest from the GFS model is actually maybe pointing out a little sign of maybe some snowfall by the time we get into the very end of this week. So we will definitely need to be watching maybe for a little bit of a clipper system, because as you can see, those clippers right there are going to be digging down from Canada, and they look to reach the Ohio Valley by the time we get into later this week. And they look to be on the lighter side of things, thankfully, but some of those clippers could still bring a few feet, not a few feet, but a few inches of snowfall rather, which is what we would typically get with clipper systems. So that will be one to watch for. We might also need to watch for another big storm system to roll on through, which this one might be a little bit of a different story, given the fact that the latest from the GFS model is showing that that warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico is going to be able to surge on in a little farther to the north, to where places as far north as the Great Lakes region, let's say, could definitely be experiencing more in the way of rain than snowfall, as you can see. So it's good that we don't get the worst of snowfall with this system, but it's definitely something to watch for still, as we could be seeing a lot of rain, maybe even a few thunderstorms mixing on in there if we do get enough moisture and energy. So we will need to be watching that by the time we get into the very end of our January. And then after that, another big surge of cold air right behind it is going to come on in, and that might create another round of winter storms. But once again, this is far out enough to where we won't be able to tell exactly what's going to be happening. But like I said, that we will definitely be keeping an eye on it, as we could definitely be seeing another winter storm or two like what we're going to be experiencing these next few days. So we will definitely watch it closely. And then if we take this a little farther out into February, maybe some more winter storms, like I said, and it looks like the GFS model is saying that those winter storms might actually start getting a little bit farther north as we get into the beginning of February, especially because it does show one across Minnesota. But this is way too far out to really tell exactly what's going to be happening. But once again, though, we will definitely be watching it very closely, as we could be seeing some pretty big winter storms rolling on through during the next few weeks, and possibly as we even get into our February, which I don't know if a lot of you guys have been talking about February. Like, I don't know if you guys have been hearing about what we could see in February, but just to show you guys that, I forgot to pull this up before I did my live stream, by the way, but I did want to show you guys that February could be a very active month, because as you guys can see with your temperatures, we're going to be seeing, once again, some potential shots of cold air rolling on through, and at the same time, we're likely going to even be seeing a lot of warm air across the very southern part of the United States, especially areas from Texas all the way back over there into the south and southeast. So we will need to watch that area very closely over the next few weeks to see how everything plays out, because it also kind of determines on how our February will be like. So we will need to watch this closely, as we usually, when this cold air comes on in and starts colliding with that warm air, that could maybe create a setup for maybe a few tornadoes. So we will definitely need to be watching that very closely, as a few tornadoes do appear to be possible right where that warm and cold air collide with each other, which would more than likely be right over here in the Midwest, and as well as the Ohio Valley. But once again, it's way too far out to tell exactly how February will play out, but it is definitely looking like an active month overall, so we will be watching that. And then if we compare that to your precipitation throughout February, once again could be a very active month overall. We're talking the potential for some pretty big amounts of rain, and like I said, we might even be seeing another round of snowstorms or something like that as we get into our February. And I actually selected from the wrong one. This is actually February right here, but it actually does still show almost the same thing, with above normal precipitation across the Ohio Valley, Midwest, and as well as the Great Lakes region, with below normal precipitation down there in the southern United States, which would be a La Nina setup. So we will definitely, once again, need to be watching February closely, as we could be seeing more snowstorms. We could be seeing more in the way of severe weather. We'll just have to see what happens. But like I said, overall though, February is really looking to be a very active month. And even though we don't know what's going to happen, it's always good to prepare just in case. So make sure you are looking out for those as we get into the end of our January, and perhaps even into the beginning of our February. So that's what we are going to be watching for, like I said, as we get into February. Let's go back over here to the models, because like I said, the GFS model, at least the latest from it, is trending with the snowstorms a little farther to the north than what the others are showing. So we definitely, once again, got to watch it closely. We just don't know exactly how everything is going to play out. So once again, we will definitely watch it, but we still don't know exactly what's going to happen. but overall, though, we will definitely watch it closely for you guys, and once again, could definitely bring some pretty big time impacts as we get into February. So once again, we will definitely be watching it very closely. Let's see here. Mike says, can't wait for February, getting my garden ready. Yeah, that's kind of gonna be iffy as of right now because we still don't know exactly what's gonna be happening during that time because, like I said, it's kind of to the point where we won't be able to tell exactly how everything's gonna play out. And let me see, something's going on right here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and change my thing a little bit, 'cause I'm kind of wondering why my thing is skipping a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly change something. Let's see, we're gonna go. But yeah, once again, we will definitely need to be watching that very closely over the next few days, as like I said, we could definitely be seeing that potential for some pretty big time winter storms as we get into the end of this month and even into the beginning of our February. So like I said, we will definitely need to be watching that very closely. So yeah, we will definitely need to be watching that. And we also will need to be watching for some colder shots of air too as well. It's not just going to be how active February will be. It's also more about how everything is going to play out, because if we look at how February could play out by looking at the temperature, because the GFS model actually does go out into the beginning of February, by the way. So just to show you that, let's go ahead and select our temperature. And yeah, so where you see those dark teal colors really indicates some frigid cold air likely to roll on through. So we will need to be watching that very closely, as we will likely get a lot of that cold air rolling on through by the time we get into Tuesday after this week, not Tuesday this week, but Tuesday next week, which will be over a week from now. And that could definitely cause some pretty big issues once again, as we could be seeing another pretty big shot of cold air rolling on through. Let's see here. Mike says Southern Great Lakes will be quiet for the next couple of weeks. Not necessarily, my friend. Like we were saying earlier, the Great Lakes region may be experiencing a snowstorm by the time we get into the end of this month. Because, let's go ahead and check this out one more time. The GFS model is now uploading again. But yeah, like I said, though, we might need to watch for maybe another one of those shots of snowfall across the Great Lakes region. And like I said, we might even be tracking another one across the Great Lakes and as well as the Ohio Valley by the time we get into the end of our January, as it kind of just shows that snowfall. So like I said, we might be experiencing that, my friend. If I were you, Mike, I would definitely be keeping an eye on it very closely, as January is known for its cold and, of course, those frigid conditions. So, like I said, if I were you, Mike, I would definitely be paying attention to it, as we could be seeing that potential for some pretty big time winter storms later this month, which obviously we don't know exactly how it will play out, but it's definitely something to watch for, as we could be seeing a lot of that, you know. But yeah, one more thing that I also wanted to point out too as well. Not only do we have Weather with Sim merchandise now available, but we also have super chats and also memberships currently available. So if a lot of you guys haven't known that yet, feel free to become a member or feel free to donate. it's up to you on if you want to do that. There's absolutely no need to donate, but if you guys would like to do that, feel free to do that by clicking that $sign in the bottom right hand corner of the chat, which is where you guys can find a lot of those. Let's see, it looks like my thing is struggling again because I'm getting a lot lower thing. Okay, there we go. It's back up. But yeah, like I said, though, we will definitely need to continue to watch it very closely, like I said. And like I said, donations, super chats, and all that stuff are now available, thankfully. So if any of you guys would like to donate, feel free to do that as we are going to continue to stay live. But like I said, there's absolutely no need to. And if you're just joining, we are talking about a large, rare winter storm that will likely be coming to the United States over the next few days. And just to show you guys that again, let's go back to the shorter range model that we were going over. Let's go ahead and select the NAM model, the NAM 12K model. And like I said, that snowstorm and ice storm is really going to start rolling on through by the time we get into tomorrow, but especially on Tuesday of this week, where we will likely start to see that sleet and freezing rain start to move on into Texas and as well as Louisiana. And of course, that will continue to move eastward into parts there, Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama, and then really start to ramp up across the panhandle of Florida with more freezing rain. So we will definitely need to be watching that very closely, as we could be seeing some pretty big winter storms rolling on through. So yeah, we'll definitely watch it closely for you all. If any of you guys want to leave any questions down in the chat, feel free to do that, as we will answer any questions that you guys leave down in the chat throughout this live stream. And once again, donations and memberships are also available as well. So if you guys want to support my channel or do any of that stuff, feel free to, as I hope we can continue to grow this channel. But like I said, it's just up to you on if you want to do that. There's absolutely no need to do one, but if you want, you guys can do that, which is now available. And if you haven't liked the stream already, make sure to give the live stream a thumbs up. Let's try to get to 30 likes on this live stream. So if you haven't liked the stream already, make sure to give this live stream a thumbs up if you haven't liked the stream already. And of course, click that subscribe button too, as well, as those really help out the channel a lot. And we're hoping that we can continue to spread the word out to everyone, as this is, like I said, a very important weather update for a lot of you guys in the deep south. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to click that subscribe button. And if you haven't liked the live stream, make sure to give this stream a thumbs up, so that way we can help spread the word to everyone. And once again, I really do appreciate your guys' support, including you, Shake and Blake. I really do appreciate the questions you've been asking earlier. Same with you, Mike. Same with you, Calvin, same with you, Weather X Forecasters. I really do appreciate your guys' support over here. And once again, we'll definitely be watching this by the time we get into tomorrow, and we might even need to watch it even as we get into the middle of the week. So we'll definitely be watching this winter storm very closely once again by the time we get into the next few days, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then the other thing that we're going to need to watch for, like I said, is going to be that cold air. Once again, that cold air really going to be surging on down here as we get into a few times in January. We'll probably continue to see this cold air stick around for the next few days, which is actually something I wanted to point out, as we do have cold weather warnings, extreme cold warnings in effect, and we also do have, once again, those winter storm warnings and advisories also in effect for those areas along the I-95 corridor, including a snow squall warning that might be in effect. I saw that pink showing up. Yep, that's a snow squall warning pretty much for those areas east of Cincinnati and as well as Dayton, Ohio. So that's definitely interesting to see right there. And of course, we even got those winter storm warnings even starting to get issued for areas down there in Texas, Louisiana, and we expect those winter storm warnings to continue to get issued even for those areas in Alabama, back over there in the Georgia, even down there in the Florida, where we could be, like I said, be seeing that potential for a pretty big, rare, and of course, historic winter storm, as this winter storm is going to be rolling on through tomorrow, Tuesday, and as well as into Wednesday, which will be the middle of the week, and that's why they're putting out winter storm warnings right now. Let's see here. How much inches of snow will I get in southwest Alabama? Very good question, and thanks for reminding me about that, because we forgot to look at our total snowfall for those areas. So let's go ahead and do that before we forget. So let's go ahead and select the NAML again, like what we were looking at, and let's take a look at your total snowfall. So if you're wondering about southwest Alabama, let's go ahead and take a zoom in view to this by selecting the deep south. Not that, but the deep south. Okay, so for southwest Alabama, right around the Mobile area, likely to get around 6 inches of snowfall potentially, which is what the latest from the NAML wants to show. Even those areas in New Orleans, look at that, we're seeing potentially over 6 inches of snowfall there, which from my opinion, I don't really know if that's going to be the case or not. I think that seems more like a worst case scenario, but we will definitely be watching those areas from New Orleans back over there into southern Alabama for snowfall, which I think you guys are going to be the bullseye for snowfall. But like I said, I from what I'm seeing, I don't think we're going to get that much. But we will definitely watch it, as even the European mall even agrees on some snowfall. It shows higher amounts a little farther back down there towards like Houston, Texas, but this area could still be experiencing a few inches to possibly up there towards a half a foot of snowfall. And then if we compare that to the GFS mall, which is still uploading, but the GFS mall is also pointing out some pretty good snowfall even across Louisiana. So the least I can say is that we will indeed see a few inches of snowfall. It's just how much snowfall and exactly how much we see is going to continue to remain uncertain, but we will definitely watch it closely, as if you average all the models together, you guys can see how we got very good model agreement on around 2 to 4 inches down there in Louisiana, maybe around 3 to 4 inches over there in New Orleans, pretty good 1 to 3 inches down there in Mobile, Alabama with the national blend of all models. And like I said, this is pretty much putting all the models together and averaging them all out. So it's pretty much adding every area's total snowfall and pretty much dividing that by how many models there are, and that's how the national blend of all models works. So it's pretty much bringing an average amount of snowfall for connecting from what all the models are showing. Let's see here, Charlotte snow. So if you're wondering about Charlotte, North Carolina, let's go ahead and go to North Carolina. Let's see if we can find it. North Carolina. I didn't mean to select the same. I meant to to select states. So for North Carolina, and if you're wondering about the snow, North Carolina will likely pick up some pretty good snowfall, including the Charlotte region. We're talking maybe around 1 to 2 inches of snowfall there, and this is with the national blend of all models, which means we got pretty good agreement on anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snowfall across the Charlotte region, and we even got some pretty good agreement even on that snowfall even across those coastal areas, which unfortunately it looks like the coastal areas of North Carolina, especially around I gotta remember some of the city names along the coast, but like Wilmington, North Carolina, you guys will likely pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. So it's pretty much the farther east you go along the coasts of North Carolina, the higher the snowfall totals get. So it's definitely very interesting, but at the same time, not usually what we would get this time of year. So we will definitely watch it closely, but not really looking like anything certain as of right now. But like I said, though, it's definitely looking like a big problem as this winter storm will likely roll on through. And I think the timing of Charlotte, North Carolina getting that snowfall will be these next few days. And while we're still here, let's actually go ahead and look at that, so that way we can give you a good idea on the snowfall forecast. And yeah, it looks like the timing of your snowfall is gonna be it looks like you could be doing with a little bit of snowfall right now, but it's gonna be more like Wednesday that you'll be doing with that snowfall. So definitely make sure you are paying attention, as we could be seeing some pretty good amounts of snowfall across those areas. So if I were you, I would definitely be on high alert, as there could be moderate impacts. So make sure to be paying attention, my friend. Thanks for the question, by the way. Let's see here. It looks like a lot of you guys are ready for the winter storm now that I'm looking at that poll, which is great. I'm glad a lot of you guys are ready. That's exactly what I want to hear from a lot of you guys, because, it's not what we would typically get that far down to the south, but now that I hear that you guys are prepared, like I said, that is great to hear. That's what I want to hear, and I'm glad most of you guys are prepared for it. I'm glad most of you guys are prepared for it, and that's why we go live on this channel. Let's see here. Let's see here. Joey says thanks. You are very welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining my live streams. Much appreciated. And if you haven't liked the stream already, make sure to give the stream a thumbs up, like I said, as we are going to continue to keep an eye on this winter storm. And like I said, it really does help spread the word out to everyone. So make sure to give this stream a thumbs up if you haven't already, so that way we can continue to spread the word out to everyone. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel too as well, as we upload every day on this channel. And like I said, we sometimes will do more than one video per day, depending on how active the weather is. Like if there's something like this going on that's very rare and unusual, we will try to do more than one video per day, or even try to do a live stream like what we're doing with right now. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe, so that way we can continue to spread the word out. Let's see here. Will there ever be a time I know 100% how much snow I will have, or will I have to wait until the days it comes? There will probably be some times where we get a really good idea on how much snowfall to expect. Like exact is probably not likely, but like let's say you were forecasting an inch and a half of snowfall and an inch and 3/4 fell. Like that would be close enough to where that would be pretty accurate. So there's usually a lot of times where we get very, very close to how much snowfall to we're gonna be seeing exact, but like I said, it being having it being like exact probably won't happen, but being like very close to it, like only a quarter of an inch away from how much snowfall actually occurred, is probably going to happen sometime, especially when we gain more meteorologist science. And so we'll just have to wait and see what the scientists say about that, which I'm hoping we can continue to grow the weather forecasts in the world. And of course, I hope scientists will even think about upgrading radars and things like that, so that way we can try to make the weather more accurate. Let's see here. Will it be the day before when it is most accurate? Possibly. Like I said, if we continue to make these channels, or if we continue to make the weather forecasts more accurate, then yeah. Like I said, there'll probably be a day or two where we are almost exactly how much snowfall it will be, and like I said, there will probably even be a time where it's almost exactly accurate. And usually we're accurate all the time with what's going to happen. Like I said, it's just how exactly it sets up is going to be uncertain, but we're usually accurate about a storm rolling on through, or just what we could see with the storm is usually the most accurate part. It's just how exactly everything happens that's most uncertain. But like I said, we are usually most accurate about the timing or timing of the storm. Like we know it's going to occur on Tuesday and into Wednesday, but exactly how much it produces remains uncertain still, and exactly all that is going to remain uncertain. But like I said, there's some times where we are very confident about exactly how much snowfall there is, and that has happened before. Thanks for the question, by the way. I really do appreciate that. And if any of you guys want to leave anything else down in the chat, feel free to do that, as we are going to continue to stay live. Let's see how live we've been long. Yeah, we're going to continue to stay live till we reach that hour mark. So if you guys got anything else to leave down in the chat, feel free to do that. As like I said, we will answer any of your guys' questions that you leave. And like I said, donations, members, or merchandise, are now available, and you guys can do that if you guys like. But like I said, there's absolutely no need to, but it's definitely there, which I really do appreciate your guys' support. Let's see here. Much about the weather, but I have a question. Does cold weather power more snow, or how does a lot more snow come? It depends on a lot of factors, cause you usually cold air is usually the biggest factor in snowfall, but it's also the moisture, okay? Cause you need a lot of moisture to be able to cause a snowstorm. It's just like how you need moisture for thunderstorms. Same thing with snow. You also need that moisture for snowfall too as well. So for snowfall to occur, there has to be warm moist air from the Gulf of Mexico surging on in, so that way it can feed that snow. But at the same time, it has to be cold enough so that way it can be snow. So it's definitely something that can even occur even when there's a little bit of moisture, but it's pretty much the more moisture there is when temperatures are below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, the more snow you'll get. So that's usually how it works, and that's also why we get a lot of heavy snowfall, is because, like I said, we get a lot of that moisture surging on in from the Gulf of Mexico. And with the temperatures being cold enough, it pretty much makes all that moisture all snow as it comes on down. So the more moisture there is when temperatures are below freezing, the more snow you'll get, and that's how it works. And that's one of the reasons why we get more snow across the lakes, because that water from the lakes feeds the snowstorm, and you don't really need that moisture to even be warm for that to happen. You just need water to feed it, and it all of a sudden turns into snow as it goes on up. It's kind of satisfying. But yeah, once again, I really do appreciate you asking those questions, my friend. Those are definitely very interesting, to say the least. And if any of you other guys want to leave anything else down in the chat, feel free to do that, as once again, we are going to try to stay live for just a little bit longer till we reach that hour mark. And once again, I really appreciate your guys' support to help my channel grow more and more, and I'm hoping that we'll continue to grow it. And like I said, you guys can even subscribe. Subscribing really supports the channel a lot too as well. And the cool thing about subscribing is that it's free. It's free to do, and it really helps channels get better and better as you gain more subscribers. Let's see here. What will be the temps for Tampa, Florida? So if you're asking about the temperatures for Tampa, Florida, let's go ahead and select Florida. We're going to go ahead and go Florida Central if we can find it. Okay, there we go. So for Florida, we're going to go ahead and select our temperatures. So the temperatures around the Tampa region, starting off with today, a little warm. Highs currently in the 60s as of right now. But by the time we get into tomorrow, though, and as well as into Wednesday, especially during the nighttime hours, that freezing rain will then start to pick up, especially across the panhandle. You'll thankfully be south enough to where temperatures will thankfully be a little bit above freezing, so you're not really expecting anything but cold rain, so you're thankfully going to be on the lucky side of things. But temperatures are still going to be very cold, at least for that part of the United States, with highs only in the 40s and lows in the 40s. And then after that, we might need to watch for maybe even a bigger surge of cold air as we get into the end of our January. So yeah, you're just going to be very cold every single day. After today, especially, because yeah, like I said, when we take this forward, Like literally, you guys are just gonna be dealing with cold air continuously with highs in the 40s and 30s with those lows even in the 40s and 30s. So yeah, make sure you get prepared for that, my friend. Definitely not Florida anymore. It's considered the winter state because of how cold it's getting there, which isn't true. I just like to consider that because it's getting much colder than usual. So make sure you get bundled up, my friend. Thanks for asking. And if you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure to give this live stream a thumbs up as we are trying to get up to 30 likes on this live stream. So if you haven't liked the stream already, make sure to give it a thumbs up before we end it. But yeah, let's see. And once again, I really do appreciate you guys joining my live stream. And of course, I really do appreciate the support from all of you guys by asking questions, subscribing, and as well as liking my video. Like I said, that is all much appreciated. And I hope you guys, at least a lot of you guys, continue to support my YouTube channel. As I said, I'm hoping we can continue to grow this YouTube channel, guys. We've earned a lot from all the support that you guys gave us, including donations, members. I'm now finally able to connect a store to my channel now, and of course I'll even try to upgrade a lot of my studio stuff, including my camera, things like that. Like I said, all the support that you guys give to the channel really helps out a lot, and that's also to the point where I'm even able to do more upgrades. So definitely much appreciated, you all. Thank you all so much. All right. But before we end this live stream, which will be in just a little bit, we are almost at that hour mark. We're gonna go over everything just one more time, so that way you guys understand about what's gonna be happening. So let's go back to where we were talking about before at the beginning of this live stream, and you guys can even go back to the beginning of the live stream if you guys want to hear that stuff again. But let's go ahead and talk about it one more time by selecting this. And yeah, so like I said, we will be tracking once again that potential for some freezing rain and across parts there of Texas. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if the HRRR model is available now, because I actually haven't checked it for a little bit. I'm just going to see if any of its runs are able to go far out. Okay, there we go. We finally got a run now. But yeah, latest from the HRRR model, at least the long forecast of it, does show that freezing rain really starting to get over parts there of Texas. And you guys in Houston might actually be seeing freezing rain. Like, even though the NAM model showed more of just sleet and snow, you guys actually might be seeing more in the way of freezing rain now that the latest from the HRRR model on its long range forecast is really pointing out some pretty big freezing rain across Texas. And I'm just considering it long range because if you look at most of its runs, especially the other ones, as you can see, they only go 18 hours out from now. but like I said, we are selected on this one that we can look at. And yeah, like I said, we will definitely be watching that, especially as it even continues to head over there into Louisiana. And of course, we're going to have to go back to the NAM model so that way we can show you guys that. And of course, that will continue to head into the panhandle of Florida, back down there into parts there Louisiana, into parts there Mississippi, Alabama, and really start to pick up even as it gets over there into Florida. So we will definitely be watching it closely for you all, as this could be some pretty big winter storms, like I said. Definitely not looking great. Not looking great. We are getting ready to end this live stream in just a little bit. Probably will be live for just another 7 minutes, just in case you guys got any more questions to leave down in the chat. And of course, before we end this live stream, make sure to give this live stream a thumbs up as well, so that way we can try to reach 30 likes before we end the stream, and so that way we can continue to spread the word out to everyone on this channel. And same with subscribing. Subscribing also helps spread the word out to everyone, and if you guys would please do that, that will really help support the channel too as well, which, like I said, I really do appreciate your guys' support to help me earn all this stuff. But if we continue to support this channel, and like I said, subscribing, which is completely free, then we will continue to earn more, including upgrading stuff like my camera, my microphone, and all that stuff, which is what I'm going to try to do as you guys continue to support me. And once again, I really do appreciate the support. And so, yeah, we definitely gotta be watching that these next few days. And if you guys haven't gotten an idea yet, just another overview is that we are gonna once again be trekking down here in the deep south these next few days, especially as we get into Tuesday and perhaps even into Wednesday, as winter storm warnings are now getting issued because of that. And of course, we got a lot of these extreme cold weather warnings also in effect, especially areas up there in the upper Midwest, but we even got a few down there in places like Alabama. And I kind of want to check these out too as well. It looks like one is even in effect for the Millville area, so let's go ahead and check that out. And yeah, extremely cold conditions with wind chills as low as 7 degrees, guys. Single digit wind chills that far down south is crazy. So definitely not look good for you guys farther down to the south, but at the same time, we will also be doing with those wind chills even as far down south as it looks like those wind chills could even get all the way down there pretty close to Daytona Beach, unfortunately, as we got that freeze warning just north of there, and we could even be seeing a lot of that frigid condition even up here into northern Alabama, including the Birmingham area. Let's check that cold warning out to see what they say about it. And with this cold warning for places like Birmingham, Alabama, it says dangerously cold wind chills as low as 0 degrees, guys. That's even worse. 0 degree wind chills could even get as low as -1 in some areas, guys. Definitely not good news, as this is going to be in effect tonight and into tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys are really getting on high alert out there, as it's definitely not looking good for a lot of you guys. And I meant to select down here again just to show you guys that. Let's go ahead and make sure. And yeah, it says that extreme cold warning is going to be in effect for tonight, so now would be a good time to get ready for it, as we are going to be experiencing that cold air pretty soon. Make sure you get ready for it, guys, especially if you are under an extreme cold warning or a winter storm warning. we are gonna end the stream pretty soon in just a minute, but like I said, before we end this live stream, we would really like to try to get up to 30 likes before we end this. So make sure to click that like button down below if you haven't clicked that like button already, and like I said, make sure to also subscribe to the channel as well, as that is much appreciated. It really helps support the channel, and of course, we are gonna continue to help spread the word out to everyone, so that way we can continue to get more information into everyone, because I mean, it's just crazy how we're doing with this. So make sure to give this live stream a thumbs up, and like I said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you guys got any, excuse me, if you guys got any last questions to leave down in the chat, feel free to leave them, as we will quickly answer those right before we end this live stream, which it looks like we're going to be ending it in just a minute. We're going to be live for just a couple more minutes, so make sure to leave whatever you guys want to leave down in the chat before we end this live stream. And like I said, we will definitely continue to grow this YouTube channel. At least we'll try to, and like I said, more support we get, the more we will grow this channel, which I really do appreciate your guys' support. I really like it. I really appreciate your guys' support, like I said, including all of you guys who even left those questions in the chat. Even leaving questions down the chat even supports the channel a lot as well. But yeah, think we gone over most of what we wanted to go over in this live stream. I think we're gonna go ahead and end it right now. Like I said, make sure to give the stream a thumbs up. Make sure to click that subscribe button too as well, so that way we can help spread the word out to everyone. And of course, we do daily updates on this channel. And once again, we will sometimes do more than one video on this channel, or even a live stream, depending on how active the weather is. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And yeah, hope you guys all have a great rest of your Sunday. Hope you guys even have a great start to your work week. Like I said, make sure you give this live stream a thumbs up right before you leave, so that way we can try to reach 30 likes. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this live stream. Thank you all so much for the support. This is all much appreciated, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much.